China to sanction U.S. manufacturers over arms sales to Taiwan. Boeing Max grounding goes global. India's Sun mission reaches final destination. Islamic State claims responsibility for bombing in Iran. Indonesia's trains collide, killing at least 3 people. How China's BYD beat Tesla at its own game.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Monday, January 8th, and here are your top stories. A foreign minister spokesperson said on Sunday, China will sanction 5 U.S. military manufacturers in response to the latest rounds of U.S. arms sales to Taiwan. U.S. arms sales to Taiwan are a frequent source of tension between Washington and Beijing. China views democratically governed Taiwan as its territory, a claim Taiwan's government rejects. The sanctions come ahead of Taiwan's January 13 presidential and parliamentary elections, which China has cast as a choice between war and peace. The U.S. State Department last month approved $300 million sales of equipment to help maintain Taiwan's tactical information systems. The spokesperson said in a statement, the recent arms sales seriously undermines China's sovereignty and security interests, seriously jeopardizes peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait.
The sanctions will freeze any property the companies have in China and prohibit organizations and individuals in China from doing business with them, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement posted online. It was unclear what impact, if any, the sanctions would have on the companies, BAE Systems Land and Armaments, Alliant Tech Systems Operations, AeroVironment, Viasat and Datalink Solutions. Such sanctions are often mostly symbolic, as American defense contractors generally don't sell to China. This isn't the first time that China has sanctioned U.S. companies for weapon sales to Taiwan, a potential flashpoint between the world's 2 biggest economies and military superpowers.
Thousands of passengers face flight cancellation after major U.S. airlines grounded dozens of Boeing jets after a mid-flight blowout over Oregon. The U.S. aviation regulator said 171 Boeing 737 MAX 9s must be grounded for checks after parts of Alaska Airlines plane's fuselage fell off last Friday. United Airlines has grounded 79 planes, Aeromexico took all of its MAX 9s out of service, and Panama's Copa Airline did the same with most of its jets. The cascading grounding marks the most severe response since Boeing's entire fleet of MAX aircraft was parked in 2019 following 2 deadly crashes. The 737 MAX is by far the company's most popular aircraft and its biggest source of revenue. The blowout puts the focus back on Boeing's manufacturing control, just as it was gearing up to raise outputs of its cash cow model and turn the corner on past defects.
Boeing said it welcomed the FAA's decision, adding its teams were in close contact with the regulator. During Friday's incident, Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 from Portland, Oregon, to Ontario, California, reached 4,876 meters when it began an emergency descent, according to flight tracking data. Passengers on board said a large section of the plane's outer shell fell to the ground shortly after takeoff. Images sent to news outlets show the night sky and lights of Portland visible through the gap in the fuselage, with insulation material and other debris also seen. One passenger said the gap was as wide as a refrigerator, while another said a child's shirt was ripped off in the wind as the plane made its emergency landing. The plane, carrying 177 passengers and crew, landed safely back in Portland. Alaska said several passengers were injured, but not seriously.
India's solar observation mission reached its destination, marking yet another space achievement after the successful landing of a craft near the moon's south pole last year. According to India's space agency on Saturday, Aditya L1, which took off in September to dig deep into the sun's working, reached a point 1.5 million kilometer from Earth. The location is a fracture of the 150 million kilometer distance between Earth and the sun. India became the first country to land a spacecraft near the moon's south pole in 2023, after Russia's attempt at a lunar touchdown in the same area ended in failure following an engine malfunction. The country's advancements in the global space race could help bolster Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity as he seeks a 3rd term in the office through federal election this summer.
Minister Narendra Modi said the mission was a landmark and an extraordinary feat. Posting on X, formerly known as Twitter, Mr. Modi said, "It is a testament to the relentless dedication of our scientists in realizing among the most complex and intricate space missions." India's first space-based mission to study the solar system's biggest object is named after Surya, the Hindu god of the sun, who is also known as Aditya. L1 stands for Lagrange Point 1, the exact place between the Sun and Earth where the spacecraft has now reached. According to the European Space Agency, a Lagrange point is a spot where the gravitational forces of two large objects, such as the Sun and the Earth, cancel each other out, allowing a spacecraft to hover. The Indian Space Research Organisation is working on other projects, including a human spaceflight program that aims to launch astronauts into orbit for the first time possibly by 2025.
Iranian authorities said on Friday that security forces had arrested 11 people suspected of involvement in two bomb blasts that killed nearly 100 people at the memorial service for military commander General Qasem Soleimani, who was assassinated in Iraq in 2020 by a U.S. drone. The Islamic State militant group has claimed responsibility for the attack in Kerman, southeastern Iran, last Wednesday. Iran's intelligence ministry said in a statement security forces detained two people for providing support to the two suicide bombers in Kerman and 9 others based in other parts of Iran who were suspected of links to the incident. The bombings were the deadliest such attacks in Iran since the 1979 Islamic Revolution.
The explosions took place amid a tense mood in the region as Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza neared the 3-month mark. Tensions between Iran and Israel, along with its ally the United States, have reached a new high over Israel's war on Iran-backed Hamas militants in Gaza in retaliation for their October 7 rampage through southern Israel. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi militia have attacked ships they say have links to Israel in the entrance to the Red Sea, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. U.S. forces have come under attack from Iran-backed militants in Iraq and Syria over Washington's backing of Israel and have carried out their own retaliatory airstrikes.
According to officials, 2 trains collided on Indonesia's main island of Java on Friday, causing carriages to buckle and overturn and killing at least 4 people and injuring 42 as authorities investigated the cause of the crash. Ibrahim Tompo, a spokesperson for West Java Province Police, said the 4 dead were crew members, adding that a total of 478 passengers were aboard the trains. The government has spent billions of dollars on improving infrastructure, including roads, railroads, airports, and power plants, in the world's largest archipelago nation, home to more than 270 million people. A $7.3 billion high-speed railway, Southeast Asia's first, has been operating commercially since October. The 142-kilometer railway, a key project under China's Belt and Road Infrastructure Initiative, has drastically reduced travel time between Jakarta and Bandung from 3 hours to about 40 minutes.
Video images from broadcasters Metro TV and Compass TV showed passengers being helped out of train carriages, some of which had gone off the rails entirely. Land transport accidents are common in Indonesia. A train crash in 2010 killed 36 people, the deadliest in recent years. In December last year, a commuter line hit a car near Bandung, killing 5 people, while in November, 11 people died after collision between a train and a minibus in East Java Province. The cause of the crash not immediately clear, but train operator Point Kai and the provincial government have said they will investigate, along with transport safety officials.
The biggest car brand you've never heard of. Those are the words China's top car maker is using to promote itself as it looks to expand across the globe. Having become China's best-selling auto brand at home, BYD Co., which stands for Build Your Dream, has now surpassed Tesla to be the world's biggest maker of electric vehicles. Critical to BYD's success has been vertical integration. Instead of relying on other companies for parts, BYD managed to crack the code of producing EVs cheaply in parts by making most of its own components. The company is able to offer a wide range of affordable EVs at low prices, maximizing sales while expanding its footprint in new markets. After leapfrogging the US, South Korea, and Germany, China now rivals Japan for the global lead in passenger car exports.
Some 1.3 million of the 3.6 million vehicles shipped from the mainland as of October 2023 were electric. In a sector still dominated by big names like Toyota, Volkswagen, and General Motors, companies like BYD are beginning to make serious inroads. To be sure, BYD has had a lot of help from the Chinese government and even Warren Buffett, whose Berkshire Hathaway has been a key investor. And its aspirations aren't limited to relegating Elon Musk and Tesla to second place. BYD is building factories in Europe, Latin America, and across Asia as part of a broader effort to expand sales across these continents, and its cars and buses are popping up in cities all over the world, even in the US. As the world increasingly turns from combustion to electric-powered vehicles, the Chinese automaker is positioning itself to take on all comers.
The answer for last Friday was B, elevated. It is important that the injured leg should be elevated. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of how China's BYD beat Tesla at its own game. Number 1, aspiration, 渴望, 抱负, 志向. I didn't realize you had political aspirations. Number 2, leapfrog, 越级提升. The win allows them to leapfrog 3 teams to gain second place. Number 3, surpass, 超过, 胜过, 优于. Its success has surpassed all expectations. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's it for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.